I'm going to ask Mr. Brunis if you could just give a little highlights of Resolution 23. As I stated at the beginning of the meeting when I was doing the agenda review session, this is just an introduction of the budget. Public input will be taken on July 3rd, so if you just give us just some highlights of what we are introducing today.
Sure, Council President, members of council. The proposed budget for 2024 has been submitted with $111,774,754 in expenditures, supported by a levy of $39,703,000. The budget maintains all regular municipal services expanded over the years. In addition, the budget calls for the hiring of 13 police officers, 3 of whom will hit the streets this summer. 10 will enter the academy in August, outfitting our firefighters with additional safety equipment, and expanding programming and offerings for residents in recreation, teen center, and senior center. The budget also provides a $4.5 million increase in healthcare insurance obligations, total reflecting to pre-COVID numbers in terms of healthcare costs, while still complying with the appropriation and levy cap requirements as supported by our state statutes. In addition to meeting city operational demands, the budget will continue to make investments that improve the infrastructure that our residents rely on and the quality of life in our neighborhoods. Our park improvement program continues with the start of construction of Liberty Square Park, the replacement resurfacing of hard surface playing courts, including for pickleball courts, the installation of newly purchased playground equipment in multiple city parks. Plans include a renovation of Alex Baker Park as it awaits our $1.9 million application to 3 acres. As stewards of the city's buildings and facilities, this year's budget this year's projects include the historic renovation of the iconic brick facade of Engine 5 on Bartlett Street, and interior improvements and repairs to the free public library, its elevators, and HVAC systems. In addition to all that's going on above ground, the city will be just as active underground, replacing 3 miles of water mains and areas around Rockers Village, Lee Avenue, Sedan Street, Jersey Avenue, College Avenue, Richmond Street, Albany Street, Burnett Street, High Street, Jones Avenue, Paul Robeson Boulevard, Delavan Street, Bishop Street. The roadways for each of these projects will be paved when completed. Other streets scheduled to be repaved this year include Lewis Street, Portland, Van Dyke Avenue, Brookside Avenue, Maple Street, Florence Street, Park Street, Sanford, and Highland Square. With recent projected long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns, new to the city budget this year is a storm water utility, intended to raise and direct funds to combat unprecedented flooding that threatens the lives and properties of our residents. The stormwater utility will provide the means of developing a long-term stormwater capital improvement master plan, address additional repair needs, reduce litter pollution in the city's waterways, and provide additional resources to address the impacts of flooding to property. The stormwater utility will generate revenue to cover the cost of these services by placing a fee on public and private properties based on the amount of stormwater that runs off and drains into the city's stormwater management systems. Historically, the payment for these expenses was drawn from property taxes on private property and not based on the amount of stormwater runoff a property generates and discharges to the city. It is anticipated that this stormwater utility will be able to generate approximately $1.5 million at a modest rate for all property owners. Funds from the stormwater utility will be placed in an enterprise fund that will be restricted for the use of funds only for stormwater management and related activities. The city will develop this system in conjunction with the normal budget process and, of course, with authorization through the City Council. We also continue to benefit from revitalization efforts as recent development projects realize an increase of $565,000 in revenue in this budget, nearly $1 million in construction code fees, and $46.3 million in the total assessed valuation of taxable property in the city. A tax rate increase of 3 cents has been proposed for this budget, resulting in an annual increase of approximately $92.76 for the average property owner, and the average defined as property assessed at $263,194.51. Thank you for the review of today's budget introduced, and as always, the mayor and the administration welcome the
Thank you.